What's up, everybody? I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers, bringing you guys your daily hail forecast, sponsored as always by C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, and American Contractor. Go ahead and check them out in the link to this video. So for the first thing we're going to get to is all the crazy stuff that happened this weekend. We had quite a bit of hail going on, so we got a couple of 3-star maps out of that. We're going to take a look at those as well as yesterday's storm reports. And then into today, we have hail for actually the Intermountain West, the Central Plains, and the East, so a bunch of scatter risks for us. We're going to talk about the where and when. And then into tomorrow, things are going to kind of consolidate back into the Central Plains. Hail and wind chances both possible, and so we're going to take a look at that. But before all of our weather, into our upcoming events. The only one of those is going to be the Calm Before the Storm Golf Tournament. This is in Lakewood, Colorado at the Fox Hollow Golf Course. So if you guys are golfers, or even if you're not, if you want to just come out, talk weather with us, get out on to Colorado and come say hello to our Hail Trace team, as well as the good folks at C3 Group who are putting this event on. And all the proceeds go to charity. So it's a great cause, it's going to be a great event, and it's going to be a good time. So make sure to get on out there for that. That is on May 19th. Then into yesterday, so like I said, it's been kind of a busy weekend throughout the U.S. Yesterday was busy as well. So we got hail and wind that went all the way from the Central Plains up into the Ohio Valley, as well as down through the southeast. Our most noteworthy hail events were through the Central Plains, through Oklahoma, as well as the northern part of Texas. Got quite a bit of hail, some severe hail went through the DFW area this weekend, and so we got quite a bit of population impacted with that. But our 3-star map is going to be from Oklahoma for yesterday. So this was, like I said, yesterday, 3-star map through Ardmore, Muskogee, and Okemah. I'm having a little trouble with my words. But you can see, our big hail swaths moving through there. This was 4.5 inches, the max size on this through the Wetumpka area. So, when you're comparing hail to a baseball size and it's larger, it makes the baseball look small. That's when you know it's not good. So, got some purple through there from that, as well as a couple 2.5 inch swaths through the Muskogee and Vane, Poteau area through Oklahoma there. So, quite a bit of population impacted, and then quite a bit of large hail as well, up to 4.5 inches in size. Over 27,000 homes impacted from this map. So make sure to go ahead and check that out. We're going to have a 3-star map review for you guys as well. Then on Friday, so right before that, we had a 3-star map as well. This one was through Texas, so Wichita Falls, Breckenridge, and Throckmorton, Texas. Breckenridge got hit with baseball-sized hail, and then Wichita Falls and Throckmorton also got some large hail, up to golf ball-sized stones through the main part of Wichita Falls there, as well as a red swath right there through Throckmorton. So, got a few populous areas, again, impacted by that large hail. Feeling kind of spring-like with those couple of storms. So make sure to go ahead and check out both of those maps. On this Texas one, over 16,000 homes impacted. So again, quite impactful storms there. Then into today, we're going to have multiple risk areas to talk about. So it's exciting, we got Intermountain West, Central Plains, as well as the East in play. For the Central Plains, nice and clear and sunny out, and that's going to help us get some instability for our storms into the rest of the day here. Then up in the East, things are already rolling through the East Coast here. So we got this system that's continuing to drive off of the East Coast, and with that we've got a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings. The southern one is going to be for hail up to ping pong ball sized, as well as up to 70-mile-an-hour winds. This is going to be mostly for wind up through the northern part of the U.S. here. This is for 65-mile-an-hour gusts. We already got a line starting to form out of these storms, with some bubbling up right behind it, so it's going to be a busy day for you guys in the East. And then through the Intermountain West, through Salt Lake City, all the way up into Billings, we've got some storms that are starting to develop. A couple of those could go severe and get us some gusty winds, as well as some severe hail as well. Mostly going to be a wind threat through there. So currently, nice and warm, like I said, and sunny through the Central Plains, 84 in Dallas, 88 in Houston. Cooler through the East Coast, 68 degrees in New York, where we got that storm system moving in, 82 in Atlanta, and then still nice and cool across the western states, 59 degrees in Portland right now. Now, it's going to be humid through the southern states as well as through the east, and that's where the bulk of those storms are going to be developing, through those areas with the higher dew points. So 48 degrees in Wichita, not too bad, but then once you get down into Dallas, it's 64 degrees dew points, so starting to get a little bit more muggy outside. And then along the East Coast, again, super muggy, 58 degrees in Boston, 62 in Atlanta. So, you know, your hair's going to get kind of frizzy, and you're going to get those storms starting to move through along with that into later this afternoon. So for the east, like I said, storms are already ongoing. This is kind of what we are looking at right now for that complex as it continues to track eastward. Right now through the central part of New York, already rolling with some severe winds along with this, as well as most of the hail has been subsevere up to this point. But it has been producing severe winds as of this morning. That's going to continue to track off to the east, and there it is by 2 p.m., really rolling, making its way into the New York and Philadelphia areas, as well as things starting to bubble up all the way down into North Carolina there. That's going to continue to develop as it tracks eastward. And then we've got this bow starting to make its way into Albany. So some gusty winds could be hitting Albany around 5 p.m. Eastern time as this continues to develop, making its way also into New York, as well as some scattered storms through the D.C. area. As that goes, it's going to continue to develop as it moves towards that warm and humid ocean water, but it's going to continue to push off the East Coast, and then, you know, by 7 p.m., mostly looking at storms through Vermont and New Hampshire there, and things are starting to move off of the coast by around 7. So most of us through the eastern states should be clear by around 7 p.m., but then that's going to continue to track off to the east, and then it's going to be a quieter night for you guys through the East Coast, but a busy day. Then for the Central Plains, we're looking at, you know, kind of the same thing. Storms starting to develop now by 6 p.m. And, you know, right when they develop, we could get some hailers. If you guys are in Colorado, risks are starting to shift just a little bit farther west. So Colorado, you guys are now starting to see risks. Pueblo, we could get some storms for you guys as these develop, but then they're going to quickly track off to the east, producing some hail, but then, you know, it's going to quickly band up. We could get some hail out of these, but it's mostly going to be wind through the area. And then, you know, for Lubbock, got some stronger storms through that area, and then got this complex starting to form through the Oklahoma Panhandle, geez. And then as that continues off to the east, there it is by 3:30, moving into central Oklahoma, and then continuing off to the east through the evening and overnight hours into tomorrow morning as, you know, just some strong rain and thunder. And then finally up into the Intermountain West, it's going to be very scattered through the area, so didn't put a future radar out for you guys because it's going to be so scattered. However, you know, you could get a couple of subsevere hailstones, maybe even a severe one here or there, and mostly some gusty winds with the storms tracking through there. So for today, I'm thinking the largest hail size is likely going to be up to golf balls, and that's going to stay pretty consolidated to the Central Plains upon initiation of those storms. But, you know, we could see maybe some larger hail through the East Coast, but it's going to be super scattered if that happens. So here's what we have for our hail forecast for today. No surprise there. We got one through the Central Plains, one through the East Coast, and then all the way down into New Orleans. We could also get some scattered storms happening through there, producing some subsevere hail as well. Lots to talk about. So yeah, let's go. Let's get some hail through any of these risk areas as these storms continue to push through. So, starting out in the east, low-end chances across the board because it's mostly been a wind threat thus far. Not a whole lot of instability to sustain hail through the area. Maybe once you get down into the southern states, but for most of this, it's already a band that's been producing wind. So, hail chances are non-zero, but they're low through Syracuse, Scranton, Boston, Washington, D.C. Then down into the southern part of that risk area through Raleigh and Columbia. You know, again, it could be a little bit higher for your hail chances through there, but still enough to be low through the southern plains or through the southern east coast here with any of those scattered storms that develop. Then down into New Orleans could also get a low-end chance. It's going to be very scattered cells developing through here. So a low-end chance of hail, however, chance nonetheless, and you could see some quarters to half dollars with any of those. And then finally jumping on up into our plains risk here from Colorado all the way down into Texas. You know, low for Colby. You guys are pretty far north. Pueblo, it looks like things are just going to develop to the east of you. Could get hit, but it looks like it's going to be mostly to the east. And then, you know, through New Mexico and Texas, that's where the bulk of things are going to develop and then track through. So could get some up to ping pong and golf ball sized. But, you know, through Amarillo and Lubbock, that's probably our best chance for today to see severe hail as those storms develop and pass through. Then we're also going to see a gusty wind chance through the aforementioned areas as well as the Intermountain West there. So, you know, if you guys are in any of these swaths, you got a chance for wind into today, particularly through Pennsylvania and New York. With that complex, again, that's already been passing through, already has a history of producing severe wind. So if you're in Syracuse, Washington, D.C., or anywhere through central Pennsylvania, that's where the best part of these storms are going to be passing through. So you should be on the lookout for some damaging winds into this afternoon and evening. Then New York, moderate chance for you guys. Tapering off once we get down into Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, since things are going to be more scattered at that point. The bulk of the line is going to stay up to the north in that hatched area. But again, low end chance that any of these areas could also see some severe winds as well. Then off into the Central Plains, gonna continue that hail risk and then push that out to the east for our wind risk here. So Pueblo, now you're in it. Low end chance for you guys to get some gusty winds as those storms are developing, but I don't think they're gonna be able to develop quite enough to start producing hail until they pass you. So, that's kind of the reasoning there. But low end chance for Pueblo, Amarillo and Lubbock, another moderate for you guys as the bulk of those storms hit you. And then Oklahoma City, you're in the risk. It's low. It's gonna be overnight, so not a lot of energy for those storms to ride off of, but you could get some gusty winds as well as that complex passes over you overnight. Then finally up into Montana, Utah, and Idaho here, Salt Lake City and Billings as well as Pocatello are going to be in the risk for some gusty winds as those storms develop. And again, any of this could get a severe hailstone or two, but it's going to be super scattered on the hail risk. Going to stay mostly gusty winds through the area with any of those collapsing thunderstorms. So then into tomorrow. So we got all those scattered risks today. It's going to consolidate a little bit more tomorrow into our Central Plains. So it's going to be a mostly quiet day, but then by 5 p.m., you see things starting to develop through the Des Moines area, just south of Omaha, and a little bit of stuff starting to bubble up in western Kansas there. But, as the day goes on, there we are by 6 p.m. Again, got some isolated cells starting to go up through the Des Moines area, as well as Sioux Falls. I'm really watching Sioux Falls into tomorrow with any of these isolated cells that start to ramp up and then move into a pretty unstable environment. You can see how quickly those storms just blow up by 8 p.m. And that's just an indicator of how unstable the environment through the Central Plains should be into tomorrow. So there we are by 8 p.m. Any of these could be hailers through the Sioux Falls area, and then things are going to start up as well through the Iowa and Missouri border there by 8 p.m. Continuing to track to the south and off to the east, Kansas City. If anyone from KC is watching right now, by 1 a.m., starting to get some storms that are kind of in a weird storm mode. They're not quite aligned, not quite individual either, so you could get some hail and wind chances out of these by 1 a.m. for KC, as well as some gusty winds starting up through Omaha and Des Moines. And then those are going to continue off to the south and east, now forming into a complex over St. Louis by 7 a.m. Could get some gusty winds, some small hail, as well as some thunder and lightning out of those by 7 a.m. on Wednesday for St. Louis. So then, this is what we got for you guys for hail forecast into tomorrow. So like I said, things are going to consolidate quite a bit into the Central Plains. Quarters to $half possible anywhere from the northeastern part of Colorado all the way into the far western part of Illinois there. But the bulk of our instability is going to be placed through Nebraska and through the western part of Iowa there. And so that's why we have the larger hail sizes here, up to 2.5 inches possible from Sioux Falls into the Omaha area, as well as those storms develop through the area, and then tapering off a little bit once we move farther south. So low end chances to see hail for Colby, Wichita, Kansas City, and St. Louis. And then for Des Moines as well as Sioux Falls, moderate chance for you guys as those storms are developing over you guys. It just depends on how quickly they line up. If they stay individual, could put you in a high for tomorrow, but it's looking like it's a moderate chance right now. Very solid moderate for some hail into tomorrow through that risk area. And then it's going to be pretty much the same into wind as well. So, we'll put out that risk into tomorrow. But if you guys want to stay tuned to our forecasts, you can follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Hit See First on Facebook so you never miss a live video. And then if you want to get in contact with us, you can call us at 855-334-4245. You can also email us if you'd rather at info@hailtrace.com, or check out our website hailtrace.com for more details. And for now, I'm meteorologist Andrew Myers. Thanks for watching.